Hello friends and welcome to the new session of Maths Made Easy. So today we will discuss how to solve a quadratic equation in different ways. So the first way to solve a quadratic equation is factorization. So here we have one quadratic equation and that is x square minus 5x plus 6 equal to 0. Now to understand the factorization, we assume the first component as component number 1, the second component of this equation as component number 2 and the last component of this equation as component number 3. So the step 1 is to distribute the component 2 in such a way that sum of the distribution shall be equal to the component 2. That we have to distribute this particular component in such a way that sum of the distribution shall be equal to component 2 and the product of the distribution shall be equal to the product of component 1 and 3. So the distribution should be in such a way that it should satisfy both the conditions A and B. So you can see here we have distributed the component 2 in such a way that the sum of these will be equal to the component 2 and the product of these will be equal to the product of component 1 and component 3. So as you can see here, I have further solved this problem, and that is in the first component, in the first two components we have taken the x as a common factor, and in the next two components we have taken 2 as a common factor. And further on solving we get the value of x equal to 2 and 3. Now, to understand further, we will take one more example. As you can see here, x square plus 7x plus 12 equal to 0. Now, to understand further, we will take one more example. As you can see here, and that is x square plus 7x plus 12 equal to 0. Now, applying the same conditions as we have done here in the first problem, we have distributed 7x in 4x plus 3x, so that the sum of these two values will be equal to 7x and the product of these two values will be equal to the product of first and the third component. So on further solving this equation we get two common factors, and that is x plus 3 and x plus 4. So we get the solution set of x, and that is minus 3 and minus 4. Now friends, we come to the second method of solving the quadratic equation, and that is completing the square form. So in order to understand this particular method, we have taken an example of quadratic equation and we will try to solve it by this particular method. So the quadratic equation is x square minus 8x minus 9 equal to 0. Now the step 1 is we have to keep aside the constant term. So here the constant term is 9 in this particular equation, so we have keep it temporarily aside. Now the step 2 is we have to compare this particular equation with the perfect square format, and that is x square minus 2ax plus a square. So if we compare this 2ax with the 8x, we will get the value of a equal to 4 and correspondingly a square will be 16. Now in the third step, we will place the value of a square in this particular equation. So here it will be x square minus 8x, and in place of a square we will put 16, and correspondingly we will deduct the value of 16 from this equation so that this particular equation is not get affected. So if you compare this equation with the first equation, there is no difference. Just we have added the 16 here and subtracted 16 here. So we will further solve the equation in the following steps. So finally we get the solution set of x, and that is minus 1 and 9. So friends, we come to the third method of solving the quadratic equation, and that is by direct using the formula in the quadratic equation we can get the value of unknown value. Now here we take the quadratic equation ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0. Now we will change this quadratic equation in a perfect square form as we have done in the last method, that is solution number 2. Now as you can see here, we have taken a common factor a outside the bracket and try to make it in a perfect square form where c is the constant. Now we will follow the following steps to get it in a perfect square. Now you can see the following steps to get the equation in a perfect square form, and then to get the value of x in the form of a, b and c. Now finally we have got this equation, and that is x equal to minus b plus minus under root of b square minus 4ac upon 2a. So in order to get the value of x from a quadratic equation, we can use this particular formula and can get the value of x. So we need to always remember this formula. Now we take this particular example of quadratic equation and try to solve this by direct formula. Now first we'll compare this particular equation with the standard equation and get the value of a, b and c. Now we have got the value of a, b and c. So we will place the value of a, b, c in this particular formula to get the value of x. Now as you can see here, we have placed the value and we got the value of x equal to minus 2 or minus 0.3.